Hi, my name is David Gawley. I'm a member of the Digital and Asset Integration team here at Pentagon Solutions. In this short video, we're going to have a look at creating a new asset tag in Accruent's Meridian, a document management system. And we're going to look at how we can get that asset tag and link it to documents, and how owner-operators can then use that information on mobile devices on site. First of all, you'll see that I'm in the Meridian interface. Now, Meridian can be on-premise, it can be a cloud-based solution, or it can be hybrid as well. So I can have a look at my documentation, I can drill down and search for all my documents in here, all different types of rich information, whether it's models, PDFs, documents from an operation point of view, or projects. Now, I have 4 particular documents in here related to a Grundfos pump I want to use to tie into an asset tag. They're in different locations within the vault and they've got different names. You can see the information and metadata behind them in here, and as I click on each one you'll see that there's different types of information. One in this case is an image, the second is about lifecycle information, the third's about more product brochure and literature, and finally we have more maintenance tasks in here. Now there's lots of rich metadata information behind this, and we'll go into this a wee bit more detail later on, how we can search through this metadata. And as always, we can see any of the document information, or we can see the document rendition for this particular maintenance task that needs to be performed on this pump. So we can see that from the PDF perspective. So I'm going to go back into my Explorer and scroll all the way down into my tags. So I've got a specific area set up for tags, and I can look at equipment external location or work order tags. Now you'll notice in here, if I right click and go new document, it automatically goes to create a new tag, and that's the configuration of Meridian as part of our business requirements. But equally so, if I went into projects and right click and did new document, I have a range of different document types that I can actually use because I'm applying this to a project. So Meridian is very much configurable in this environment for engineering document management system, or from a common data environment point of view. So let's just create a new equipment tag. So I'm going to say new document. I could have an automated tag numbering system if I want. I'm going to keep this simple. I might have a system internally that I'm actually using, and I'm just going to put the pump in here. I'm going to give it a bit of a description. I'm going to say it's a Grundfos pump, and then I'm going to say that the status is maintained. The functional location will make this in the first floor, and it's an equipment pump that I want to use, equipment type that I actually want to use in this instance. And I'm just going to hit finish, and that's going to create the tag. Now there's no information associated with this tag at present. I can search in the vault, I'll just search for the first couple of characters, and we can see this tag come up. So if I click, I can see that there's no information related to that as yet, so when I go to where it's used, there's no documents. So the beauty about this is where I can now tie in my documents. So I can either do this manually, link it into the tag, but because we have this rich metadata, I'm going to find the documents. So I'm not going to search by document name, because one of the problems here is if I did a search for document name and hit find now, it's only picking up 2 of the documents that I want. But because we use the rich metadata when we're actually adding information into the vault, I'm going to say, well, look for all text that contains Grundfos. So now when I do a find, I'll find all 4 document types, even though that information wasn't in the file name, it's in the metadata behind it. And I'm simply going to select all of those and hit link against that into the tag. And that's linked that information into the tag, so when I hit OK, you can see that information is against that tag environment. The great thing about this is this is where that someone on site can now use that information to very quickly search for that tag and get access to those documents, and we're going to see that now. So finally, for the mobile operative on site, they're going to use Meridian Mobile to try and access any assets and documentation in here. So you can see at the very bottom I've got access to my documents and I've got access to my assets. So the asset owner may not have an asset management system and may just want access to the actual documents. So they can simply search for the actual tag itself.
So if I do a search for pent, it's going to bring me up some of my options, and I can see my pump that I've just added in. So when I can click on it, it gives me information that's a Grundfos pump, it's maintained, but very importantly for myself as an owner-operator, I may want to see my related documents. So I can go in here and click, have a look at my image in there. I can do red lines, I can do markups as well. So that means that the engineering staff will actually get access to any changes that are any red lines that I actually add in. I can also go in and have a look at my other documents, and I can have a look at my specification, and I can have a look at my detailed PPM tasks that I have to do. And the very powerful thing about this is if there's any document changes that's actually made, the updated revisions will get caught in this environment. So what we've witnessed here is how we can actually add an asset or equipment tag in Meridian and tie documents to it. As those documents change and evolve over time, the revisions will be captured as well, and new documents can be added. And this means that the operative on site who's maintaining the asset can actually get quick access to those documents by simply searching for the actual asset tag. Thanks for watching this video. Please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. We would encourage you as well to visit us on LinkedIn, Twitter and Facebook. Thanks very much.